Um, I know you ran a little bit with Cash Money. I think you're speaking of phone numbers. You ended up calling, I think, the back of their CD or something
Yeah,
like that, where
yeah,
they came and
yeah. I was riding with my,
performed.
my partner, man, Lil Jimmy, man, and he the one who called the number on the back of the CD, basically. I'm just, rest in peace to Lil Jason Sanchez, you know what I'm saying? It was a crew of us back then, and these youngsters, I'm the youngest one, so we all were real young at the time, but they having real motion and real paper. So when they did call the number, motherfucker picked it up, and the first thing my partner told me, man, what y'all niggas want for a show? You feel me? Because we was a fan of the music. We riding around this motherfucker in a drop top 73 Chevy, gold everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? White goods with that slap. You did. We just ride around getting to it in our world. We fans of what we hear. And my partner called these niggas, the nigga picked up. It was Baby that picked up too. Asked them what they wanted for a show, and I forget exactly how much it was. I just know, shit, a week later, my partner told me, man, let's go. We gotta go pick them niggas up. Man. We finna go pick the hot boys up from the airport. I said, man, what? This nigga that bought these niggas out here for real. He did. He didn't really know nothing about no venue. Shout out to McQuitty City, but that was like a spot back then, you know what I'm saying? Heavy spot, real monumental spots in Caresville, but we didn't have no promotion or nothing. Brought him down here, man. Nobody at the goddamn show. He just really wanted to meet him more than anything. And shit, when they seen how we was moving and getting down, you know what I'm saying? Baby did, they formed a bond, him and Lil Jimmy and shit. They formed a bond because he seen that we was, young and really, really having paper and really getting to the bag in a real way. And they was on their rise, you know what I'm saying? So he formed that bond. Next thing I know, I'm in the studio one day and Lil Jimmy telling me to rap for Baby. I rap for Baby called Lil Wayne in there. Lil Wayne come to the game. That when Lil Wayne had the little fro then. He was Baby Wayne. He ain't cuss or nothing, but he'll light your ass up on that mic. You did with no cuss words. This young nigga cold. To this day, Wayne a motherfucker. I watched Wayne grow, man, into the fucking lyrical beast he is, bro. But I cut for that same cloth, you know what I mean? Spent a lot of time running around each other and shit like that. And I watched him put in real work like myself and go through the things he been through and still doing this shit. But yeah, I definitely come from being around them dudes, you know what I mean, and thought my career was gonna happen with them. And it didn't, you know what I'm saying? I ended up running in the G Unit, getting my opportunity from them. Here we go.
Yeah, G Unit's the story. And when I did the Get Rich or Die Trying documentary, I talked to Sean Blaze, who produced Bloodhound.
Yeah, Bloodhound.
Yeah, he told me some interesting stories. He was like, you were kind of like on the fence a little bit about if you should sign, and I think he called. I don't know if he called you or he said somebody talked to you about it, or I don't know
Yeah,
who he talked to. Shaw Money.
Shot Money.
Yeah,
It was
and
shot for
they're
sure.
trying to convince like you to be like, okay, I want to completely be with G Unit, instead
Yeah,
of
I didn't know what I didn't know really what the real business of what I was in front of was.
Shaw was like you're on the fence, and then what? Like, how did the Bloodhound record eventually become 50s?
Become
Yeah, because I know it was Juvenile. You were on tour with Juvenile, running around with the bus. You guys ended up in New York, and they said it was like 2 weeks after 9/11, something like
Bro, you
recent.
know a lot of fucking shit, bro.
Appreciate
At least you
it.
know the truth, though. You
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Facts. Hey, but I was in a place of when the opportunity was coming, it was like, you know, what do I do? But I didn't question on wanting to be a part of them, but I just wanted to know what's the business and try to learn the business at a short amount of time type thing wasn't working at that time. So I took more of advantage of the opportunity than I did the business and just jumped into the situation based off of opportunity don't come twice like this. Let me and then I believe in this dude, you know what I mean, as far as 50 and I, I just feel like he gonna line me up the right way and not only help me learn the business, but a good fucking learner too. You know what I'm saying?
stuff.
And the way Bloodhound came about,
Was it like the whole thing was just yours?
it was my record. The Bloodhound song record that you hear on 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, that was actually just my record. It was really a record that I had with, shout out to Hot Boy Chili, because he never got his flowers out of this record, but he kind of helped come up with that hook on that record, for sure. You know, he kind of cold helped produce it because he was there with the energy and giving off the vibe. That was what he did when I created the record. And when I had that record, love the Bush Glocks, love, you know, but you don't hear me at all. Who? I ended up playing that record for Banks when I met with 50 the first time on Juvenile Bus, because 50 was coming to meet Juvenile when I met him. He didn't know me from a can of paint, and I just knew him from the music because it was like he had a name for how to rob, and you know the nigga was like one of them live type niggas to me, like this nigga here don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? So I was a fan pretty much when they came on the bus of knowing, okay, and then damn, this nigga shit match, you know, they come here, that nigga had vests and shit on, all of them did and shit. So, you know, me knowing what I was listening to and meeting them and seeing this circle and shit, I was like, yeah, they the real deal for sure. I just like lining myself up with the real deal with shit, you know, or motherfuckers just being who they are is the best way for me, because that's the only way I can be. And, you know, when they came in and shit, you know, 50 had went to the back of the bus with Juvie, which was a studio bus, so they back there vibing. And I just happened to be playing records in the front of the bus where Yayo and Banks was. And that's what I had played, the Bloodhound record, basically. And Banks was like, hold on, man, I gotta tell 50 to come here. So shout out to Banks, man, because Banks really made that fucking move, or let me go get 50. 50 came up there and heard the record and was like, that shit hard. Hell yeah, that shit real hard. But he didn't say nothing or, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It was just that he just let me know, hell yeah, I like that motherfucker. That's crazy. He didn't give no emotion like, I need that for my album. None of that shit. It was shit. It was a couple weeks after when the offer about the record came in, because actually when we left New York, that's when we had went over to California, and shit didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? I ended up having to, you know what I'm saying, get myself back to the Ville, and it wasn't no beef or none of that shit with me and Juvie or whatever. And like I say, I'm very, you know, motherfucker gotta see me out here type nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is. Say what you say, and I ain't gonna get on here and do all that shit, but motherfucker gotta see me though. You know what I mean? And then however it go, whether it's good or bad, then they'll see it. But motherfucker gotta see me though. You dig? Facts, you know. It's just that on that. But yeah, man, Juvie, once we left that, I left from Juvie, and then I got a call from Shy Money saying, yo, you know that record that you was playing on the bus, 50 want that on this album. And I'm like, what? Because at that time, I'm already seeing he with M and Dre and shit. Matter of fact, to be honest, you know, we really want you a part of G Unit over here with us. And I'm like, is this a blessing out of the sky? I'm just now getting away from the situation with Juvie. Not that I was in a contractual situation. I never signed a contract with dude. I've always was just out there pushing the line from the friendship that we had and pushing an independent push for what he established with UTP Records. But I was never contractually bound to nothing. And a lot of it was on my own dollar. Of course, he did what he did with the crew, but I did a lot of, you know, my own pen and bringing the paper to the table. You did, even on the push with UTP, period. You know, me and my circle of individuals and shit like that kind of always held our own, but it was a push for me. I'm a part of UTP. These my brothers in my mind, you know what I mean? And just shit went wrong, not on no negative shit, but, you know, you had already let niggas know if we find opportunity anywhere else where, you know, we might want to pay some attention. And I respect the hell out of that, because it wasn't like he was trying to lead a motherfucker on. He was like, man, I'm going through my own thing, and it was respectable. So opportunity came, I'm like, man, I'm free as a bird, man. It's like, man, shit, let's do it then. I'm like, shit, let's do it.
If you want to see this full interview without having to wait, you can join our YouTube memberships program for just $8 a month. You get the full interview, behind the scenes footage, and no ads. If you want more, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/diverse mentality. And for $10 a month, you can not only get these full interviews immediately, but also get uncut and ad-free documentaries as well. The link is in the description for both.